have those banners available in front of bailout banks and large holiday merchants, maybe right even next to the bell ringers, to let people know what the corporations got as bailout money, what employees are really getting as payment, and how much money is being made by exploited imported products that we as Americans are very attached to buying and wrapping up and putting out as gifts during the holiday season. That's one. So that tis the season and that we have a way to network still and let people know throughout this city, state, country what's going on. The second thing we're doing is knowing that this is a political dream to change what goes on in Congress and Senate. It has nothing to do with nationality, party. They are all owned and controlled by corporations and lobbyists. Also, my opinion, there is nobody hearing us that is probably in the 1% that really wields the power and the control. We are all the 99%. Whether we are government workers, store owners, lawyers, doctors, police officers, or whether we are parents, students, anything else. So to take this energy and move it forward and be inclusive means to keep listening to neighbors, listening to students, listening to workers, listening to people unemployed, disenfranchised, and people that only have seen this and are making fun of it because of Saturday Night Live and other type of shows, if they still watch the snooze or TV instead of getting online, wanting about 8 sources that say, yep, this probably really happened because this is a different first-eye view. Okay, that's too much talking.
I think this should be more of a forum for discussing. I agree with everything you're saying, but so currently what people have been kind of talking about as a solution to this is that we'll be able to organize, outside of the camp, and we're already doing that. I think the First Unitarian Church has offered its basement, and we're currently working with the city to get various other, like indoor locations through which we can network and plan things. So, and this is only my opinion. I think we will have to kind of go with what the general population is saying, in that the camps are out of control. They've no longer become an Occupy event. It's now just kind of a place where people have found shelter, and so it's not really politically related. But it's just my take on it, that we can be effective through outreach, going door to door and talking to people in our daily lives, and just sort of integrating this into our lives, and then having events by day that are legal and that are effective, as opposed to what's happening here. What are some other solutions?
Would that be a solution that we would want to bring to the General Assembly? Well, I think we can do that.
Deoccupy and...
response to that. I believe, in my opinion, from what I've seen, that we will have to add something to that, where it recognizes that there will be people who will want to defend the camp, and some people who will want. We have to make this the emotional approach.
Right.
So we can just add language to it.
Right.
So I twinkle, yes, with a friendly amendment adding.
Absolutely. Anything that is consensus upon anyway is not a decision. It's only a show of support, and so whatever individuals actually do is
Just
up to
thing
them.
to make the language easier.
More inclusive and So what's another solution?
The thing that I don't always get here I don't hear get talked about, that what the camp represents. It's not only a visual symbol of the movement, but it is the place where all of those things that we come out of our houses and come downtown to march about and shout about and do civil disobedience about and tweet about and email about, it's a space to put those into practice, to actually embody them and see what would they look like if we actually got an opportunity to do things that we're asking to be able to do. What would that look like? And I think if we lose that, we potentially stand to lose movement in the sense that if we are all in our individual homes and we are all in our individual spaces, out of sight, out of mind with one another, we lose that opportunity to put in practice and create a society that is actually based on a General Assembly model, that is based on communal living. And so I would ask, if I am being asked to leave the camp, that there be another space where that same social experiment can continue. Maybe as an addition to what you said.
There's so many solutions. You make the right demand, you know, like, okay, anyway, we need to make the right demand. You know, we need to realize that we have a potential leader in the heart of the city. You can actually demand your politicians to give all the money back to nature, to preserve national forests, you know, to give the money back to building unity, to bringing people together, giant community centers so people can live without money, different things like that. You can get your politicians, things like that, to give things back to the community, to give back to the community, to give to you, because you are here in their heart. You are in the heart of the city. You are taking the heart, yeah?
Yes.
So, just a
Anyway.
response, I don't know that GA was...
You don't need them to take care of you.
But communal decision-making is my original understanding of the GA process.
Yeah. Well, I think what she's kind of saying is that the encampments themselves are right now the only thing that differentiates this protest movement from any other protest movement. Because when we all have our marches and then we go home, then the city gets to, you know, society can sweep their hands and things of it. But so that would be a point maybe for another friendly amendment where if we do leave this place, then we have to occupy other places. And have to look into actual viable solutions that may be allowed. I know one option is the Morrison Bridge, even though it's cold there, because that's not owned by the city. That's Multnomah County. So that's an option. You know, we need to look into other things, I think. But so can that be?
You can gather anywhere by day in any park or any public place, including the sidewalk. So to have a provisional plan to meet in specific places, even if it's a couple of days a week, to then again break up and decide who wants to work and who feels directed strongly. There's many avenues that need work, from the continued education, the continued work for community, from, you know, it's 80 years of corruption. It's not going to be solved in 80 days.
There were permits mentioned in the presentation.
That any marches or actions would have to be permitted. However, there are ways around that. You know, like if you gather a number lower than 150, I think in Oregon, you do not need a permit. So we could just say, oh, this is a working group, and these are actually different. So I'm sure there's ways around that, and they're not going to put that on.
Tactic would be to file permits every day.
Yeah, just we could file a permit for every public space, and
every time you get more than 2 people, you can file for a permit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Does permits cost money?
No. It depends. Yeah, some of them, but like I've filed for a permit before for like a demonstration, and it didn't cost any money. So not all.
They consider a group. You have to keep your definition of a group is violated. Even 2 people or a group, that's a right to file.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea for like permitting. Like just say, oh, we need your permission to do anything, so why don't we just file a permit for everything? Just
file
press the system. But as far as like immediate solutions.
I think it's important that each committee has a contingency plan for their structures. So like engineering and electrical, they have contingency plans to put their things in places so we don't lose those materials. So I think that every committee needs to be working on like safety, for instance, like my committee needs to be working on like putting all of this infrastructure into a place, and that should be something that we directly do. Whether or not we move out of the place, that needs to be something that's thought out and figured out.
Are there potential indoor spaces right now?